guys, welcome to Crafting with the Crafty Chick. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am enjoying this lovely Saturday morning. We have beautiful blue skies and sunshine. Not very warm, but we have blue skies and sunshine. So, too cold to really be working outside. So today is a great day to be crafting. So, we have 4 projects we're going to work on today, and stay tuned because I do have some tips and tricks to share with you. And then at the end of the 4th project, I will be doing a prize drawing giveaway. So stay tuned for that. We will see who the lucky winners are. So really quick, I have my materials, my tools that we will need to put together this project. You guys will not need the Wink of Stella because I have already used this on your snowflakes. But if you have it and you want to add some extra sparkle, go for it. So, but today's project, we're going to need dimensionals, your bone folder, scissors, and your mono glue or your choice of adhesive. And the first project we're going to start with today is the set of Snowflake Splendor boxes, just 2 gift boxes. So we're going to put these together today. And I love when you offset them like that. That would be pretty just to wrap them with ribbon and give them as a gift that way. You can even do individual. You have 2 to give away and just stamp and die cut maybe some more snowflakes or tags or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to show you guys how to put these together, and really quick I want to just give you the measurements, the dimensions. So this box is 3 by 3, and this box is 4 by 4. So these were really fun to make, and I'm really loving this Snowflake Splendor suite. So I'm going to set our projects off to the side, but before I do that I want to show you guys this blue gem in the middle. I am really having a lot of fun with these blue gems, and you can't really see, but I do have Wink of Stella on all 3 of these snowflakes, and just can't really see it on the camera, but they are sparkly, very pretty. So I'm going to set those off to the side, and some of these we don't need just yet. And I'm going to just bring in really quick to show you what I'm using today. And so it's a Snowflake Wishes bundle in the holiday catalog. And we're using, it's on page 37, and so several of these snowflakes I stamped, and then they have the coordinating dies, and so I die cut those out. And then here's the beautiful blue adhesive back gems, and really love these. I've used like half a pack already. And then I'm also using the DSP that coordinates with all of this as part of that suite, and so I've used quite a few sheets already. Just beautiful patterns. So this is what I'm using on our gift boxes today. I'm going to set this off to the side, but I do need to take a snowflake out, as I'm going to show you guys. This is one of the tips and tricks I'll show you. I'll take this off. Put that on our stamping block. Okay, and that will be for later. Oh, and just to let you guys know that Stampin' Up! Does not carry these paper holders, but they are great. I get them from Amazon, and I think they're from Paper Studio. They used to be Copper Hopper, but now if you order them, they come 3 to a pack. And I want to say they're like $6. So really good price, and they protect your DSP. They do come with stickers to make your labels. I just don't do it because when I run out of a pack, then I can put another pack in and not have to worry about the label. And they are perforated on the side, so kind of reinforced. So this is what I keep my DSP in, just to protect it. Okay, now we are ready to get started. I'm ready to craft with you. Alright. And something else I want to mention too is that you can, if you have this DSP or even with like Whisper White, you could do an inside liner of your boxes if you wanted to. I didn't think to do that until yesterday, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to do too. So, and something real quick. I did another lid. This is using that same DSP pack, but just to kind of stagger it, you can do different patterns. I'll bring that up to the camera so you guys can see that a little bit better. But I love things that match, and so I wanted to really just go with a coordinating set. I'm just showing you guys really quick our boxes. Okay, let's get ready to play. So I'm going to get my pieces out here, and we're going to start with the medium box, which is the 4x4, the bottom box. And I do have my dimensions here. And so to make your base, which would be the bottom of your box, you want to take an 8x8 piece of cardstock, and you want to score it at 2 inches on all 4 sides. And that's going to be for your box base. And so basically you have a square, and you can see this is where we score 2 inches on all 4 sides of our 8x8 sheet of paper. And then for our lid, this is going to be the box top. This is 6x6, and you score 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then your DSP pieces, so you need 1, and this is for your centerpiece, for the center of your lid, and that measures 3 13/16 by 3 7/8. You need 1 of those. And then for your sides, you need 4 pieces of DSP, and these are 7/8 of an inch by 3 13/16. And so those are for your 4 sides. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get our pieces scored and cut. And I will bring the dimension sheet back in at the end after we complete our project, so you guys can use that as a reference as well. Okay, so we're going to start with our base, and this is where you will need your bone folder. It's because we need to crease all of our score lines so they're nice and crisp. So we're going to go ahead and just run that along all 4 score lines. Okay, and then once you have done that, you're going to turn this over. So basically all of your score lines are going to be raised, so kind of you can run your finger along. You want that raised line pointing up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors. And so we have a score line here that goes up to this intersecting score line. So we're going to make our cuts from here just up to that intersecting score line. Don't continue cutting up. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Just up to that intersecting score line. So basically you're creating a kind of a tab. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to turn this around. So our tabs that we just cut are facing up. And now we're going to work on the 2 bottom ones. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut up to that intersecting score line. And then we're going to come back and make our wedge cuts. Okay, so you now have 4 tabs, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And then you have your 2 middle flaps. All 4 corners tabs we're going to do our wedge cut, because when you go to fold these in, then it just makes a nice cleaner cut, because sometimes one of your flaps will stick out over the top and it just doesn't make it look very clean. So I always like to, when I'm making boxes, do those wedge cuts. And I'm going to do that on both ends. So you just kind of pick a point. You don't want to go too far in, but just kind of on the outer edge here. And it's an angle. And you're going to do that on both sides. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then I have my other piece here that I've already completed just to save time, but I wanted to show you guys so you have the idea of how to do it. Oh, I didn't go far enough in. There we go. Okay, so now I have my wedge cuts made, and you can see the difference is now I've got this cut out, so I would do the same thing on this side. And so now when I fold this in, because my cuts go in farther, I don't know if you guys can see that, so now it's just a nice, I don't have to worry about those sticking out above this piece here. Okay? So now, so I'm going to take this piece away because I've already got my piece ready to go. I've already done my wedge cut. And again, this is 8 by 8. Scored every 2 inches on all 4 sides. Now we are ready to go ahead and start putting this box together. So you can use your mono glue, you can use your score tape or a high-tack adhesive. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to put glue on your tabs. I do one section at a time, so I'm going to glue these tabs and then bring them in and secure them to this flap. Okay, and so I just bring these in. And you can do one at a time because you do want to press it tight to really get that to adhere and be secured. And then I'm going to fold the other tab in and hold that tight. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and just press with my fingers just to make sure we get that adhesion. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And so what I like to do now at this point is, because we can lay our box flat, is I bring the middle flap toward me and I bring these 2 in. And so what I do is put glue on these now. Just one at a time, I'm going to go ahead and line that up and hold that so it gets adhered, and then bring the other one in and do the same thing. And you do want to line it up end to end as best as you can, because that's really going to be helpful when we go to put our lid on over our boxes. And now I'm just bringing it in to push that down so that those are secured. And there we have our first box base. So fun to make. I love making little boxes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our lid in. And we're going to set the box off to the side. And so our lid is 6 by 6. So 6 inches by 6 inches, scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did on our box base. We're going to do the same thing with our lid. So same concept. So this one, we're going to make our cut on the inside score line. So I guess when I say inside, to me this is outside and this one is more inside. So I just say that's an inside score line. And so we're going to make a cut up to the intersecting score line, and we're going to do that on all 4 tabs. And so I've already got these 2 done. So we're going to do this one now. So you should have your 2 tabs. I'm going to turn this around. We're going to do the same thing on this end. Remember, only cut up to that intersecting score line. And now we're going to make our wedge cuts just like we did on our box base on all 4 tabs. Sometimes you may go in more than you intended to, and that's okay, because they're going to get covered up. Nobody's going to know. Well, I love crafting any time of the year, but I really enjoy it so much more. The challenge of coming up with projects and ideas for the holiday projects is always really, really fun. Okay, so now before we actually adhere this together, we're going to secure, hold on, I'm not recording. What happened here? Okay. Camera. Not sure what happened here, guys. Hang on just a second. Okay, hello. You guys can hear me, but camera is not working here. So let me see what I can do. What happened with the camera? There we go. Okay, sorry for that little blip. I'm not sure what happened. Alright, hopefully we can just pick right back up where we left off. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and secure our DSP pieces onto our lid before we assemble our lid. So I'm going to bring those in now. So we're going to start with our centerpiece here. And you want to make sure that you leave a small border of the Night of Navy around the center. So we're going to go ahead and glue this to our box top lid. And then we're going to do our side panels. And make sure that that is secured on there. Now the beauty of this DSP is that because of the way that the pattern is, you don't have to match it up, like trying to line up this snowflake with the end of this one. This DSP is very versatile in that way. You don't have to do that. The only thing you have to worry about with the pattern is if it's a directional pattern. So like if this had Santa Claus hats on it, then you want to make sure they're all facing the right direction, which that would affect how you cut the DSP as well. Okay, and we're just securing these to all four sides flaps. And I was trying to think of ideas on what you can put in these little boxes, and oh my goodness, there's so many possibilities. You could even put in this bigger one, if you have like small cookies or small pieces of candy, even maybe a large chocolate chip cookie would fit in there. Who doesn't love getting a box full of cookies? Come on now. Sorry, I've been in this cookie. I've been craving cookies, something awful, and Danielle and I were talking yesterday about making chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, well, Thanksgiving's coming up and we're going to have pumpkin pie, so we might want to take it easy on the treats, but cookies are coming, I promise, because I've got to have me some cookies. Okay, cookies and crafting, and friends and family. Doesn't get much better than that. Okay, so now all four side flaps are secure. And now we're ready to assemble our lid. And so I want to bring in our box base back in because we're actually going to be using this. It will help us in shaping our box lid. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we have our tabs. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these and fold them in. And move this out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. So basically I'm just bringing them in. And so we're going to secure these tabs to our middle flap here. So we're going to go ahead and glue those down now. And so I'm going to do one at a time. And I'm just bringing this one in and try to line up end to end as much as you can. And then we're going to bring the other one in and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to press this down so I can really make sure that those side flaps get adhered. Okay, so now what we're going to do before we actually glue these on, we're going to put our lid on top of our box base, because this makes this next step so much easier. So now you can see that your box top lid fits nice and snug to your box base. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this flat on our work surface, and I'm going to bring in these side flaps, and I'm taking my finger and my thumb and I'm just kind of pressing this in a little bit, which you can see is making my box bow just a little bit, and that's okay. But what I want to do now is get glue on this tab. And then glue on the next tab. This does get easier, I promise. Okay, so now I'm pressing those in and I'm forming my lid corners around my box base. And what that is going to accomplish is to really allow you to get a nice, what am I trying to say? A nice snug fit, but you don't want it too tight, but you don't want it to just pop right off on its own either. And be mindful, you might get a little glue on your fingers, so be aware of that too. So now I'm going to press that down flat. And now we have our box top lid, which fits nice and snug to our box base. Oh, you might have to squeeze it in just a little bit to get it. Oh, that one's not quite adhered yet. I'll hold that for just a minute. You do want to make sure that these are secured. So besides cookies, what else could you put in here? Gift cards, jewelry, earrings, a necklace, a pair of socks, you know, like thin socks. I don't know if slipper socks might be a little too thick, but a thin pair of socks would fit. Even maybe a bar of soap or two would fit. So many possibilities. I wonder what ideas you guys would come up with for what you put in your boxes. Okay, so there is box number 1. So there we have it. Isn't that fun? And so this box is 2 inches deep. So just, I mean, you guys can measure whatever you put in here. You have an idea of what the dimensions are, if it will fit or not. Okay, so now I'm going to set this off to the side and we're going to work on our top box. So bring my pieces in. And then we have, so in your bag of snowflakes there is a blue gem that I have put on, that's on an acetate that they come on, and so be very mindful when you pull this stuff out. Don't lose your blue gem. It is in its own separate bag. Okay, and then I'll bring our notes out for this one. Okay. So really quick. So the small box, which is the box that's on the top, is 7 inches by 7 inches, scored at 2 inches on all 4 sides. And then our lid is 5 inches by 5, scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then our Snowflake Splendor DSP, our centerpiece, you need 1, is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then our 4 flaps for the sides are 7/8 of an inch by 2 7/8 of an inch. We'll get everything out now. And so you have your blue gem, and set that off to the side. You don't want to lose that. And then we have our snowflakes. And I do have a couple of tips and tricks for you guys on these. Okay, but before we get into the decoration, which that's always the fun part, is making it look pretty, we're going to go ahead and start making our cut and getting our boxes put together. So just like we did with our first box, we're going to do our cuts on our score lines so that we have 4 tabs. But before we do that, we need to take our bone folder and really sharpen those score lines. Okay, we are 26 minutes into the video. I apologize. I try to keep each video 30 minutes or less. This one's going to run a little bit over. Okay, so now we are going to cut on our score lines up to this intersecting score line so that we have our 4 tabs and make our wedge cuts like we did with the first box. Turn this around and do the same thing on this end. For this month's project, we have 2 gift boxes and then 1 gift bag and 2 cards. So I'm making my wedge cuts on my tabs. And you want to do that on all 4. Turn this around and do the same thing with the other 2. Okay, and then set that off to the side, and then we're going to do our lid. Do the same thing. Take your bone folder and really sharpen those score lines. Okay. And then we're going to make our cuts and go right up to that intersecting score line, just like we did with the last lid and the box bases. I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just coming up to that intersecting score line. And then make our wedge cuts. Clean up our mess here. I like to clean up as we go. Okay, so now we're going to bring our lid in, which is the smaller piece, and we're going to adhere our DSP. We're going to do our center piece and then our 4 side flaps. Make sure you just leave a tiny Night of Navy border around the outside edge. And then you have your 4 DSP pieces. This paper is so pretty. One, I really love snowflakes, so anything that has snowflakes always catches my eye. But something else that caught my eye with this paper is it has purple in it, and my favorite color is purple. So snowflakes and purple. Yeah, I had to add this one to my list. But the other thing I really like about it is it's not necessarily Christmas themed. Sometimes you just want a winter theme. And this, I think, fits that bill. And if I have time and I can find it quickly, I will show you something else that caught my eye with the colors is several years ago I did a scrapbook page of my girls when they made a snowman, and I used pinks and purples and light shades of blue. And it really is a pretty color combination. Okay, so now I'm just pressing over and making sure those are all secure. Okay, and now we're going to set this off to the side, let that dry, and bring in the box base back in. And we're going to bring in our side tabs and secure those to our flap. So I'm going to do one at a time. I'm bringing this flap in. And you want to line it up end to end. And bringing the other one in. And lining that one up as well. And holding that in place. And the reason you want to make sure they're end to end is because you want them to slide over the top. You want your lid to be able to slide over the top of it without putting extra effort into it trying to get it on. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing and bring our side flaps in. Okay, camera is out. Sorry guys, give it a minute and it will kick back on. I don't know why it keeps going out. So I will keep talking. It shows I'm still recording. And I will stop so we can pick back up here in just a minute. Let the camera come back on. Okay. Come on now, we're ready. Hello, come on camera. Just popped back out, bear with me. Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry, not sure why it's doing that, so hopefully we can finish this and not have a camera interruption. I'll have to talk to my IT guy. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to finish. We're going to go ahead and secure these side flaps to our main flap. And I know that these are longer, and it's okay because they overlap. Okay, so we're going to bring this one in and bring this one in. And now we're going to manipulate those sides. You want to line them up end to end. Okay, that one needs to come in just a little more. There we go. Pressing this down to make sure that it is fully adhered. Okay, and so that's our small box base. Now we're going to bring it back in our lid. And just like we did on the first one, we're going to do one end and then we're going to put it over our box so that we can fit the lid to the box so it's a nice fit. Okay, so put that one there. I'm going to hold those just for a quick few seconds. I'm ready to decorate with the snowflakes. They're so pretty. I really, really like them. So many possibilities. I was thinking of a scrapbook layout page the other day that I could do with these. Okay, so now I have put my lid over the top of the box and I'm just bringing in the side tabs. And so we're going to secure those on. Now you are going to get a little bit more resistance with your side tabs. So just do the best you can. And the reason you're going to get that resistance is because where this score line is and this score line, they're not exactly the same. Okay, and I'm going to glue this glue on this flap. I'm bringing those both in, and then the lid, and I'm forming them basically around my box so it's a nice snug fit. I'm just going to hold these here in place for a minute to make sure that those side tabs get adhered. I'm going to just give it a little bit of pressure. We don't want that to come undone. Okay, and then we have our lid for our small box. Isn't that fun? In less than an hour, you guys, you can have 2 gift boxes made for somebody. Okay, this is my favorite part. We get to decorate. So we're going to decorate the top of our box. But before we get into that, actually, no, let's decorate. Let's decorate. This is the fun part. And so I have Wink of Stella every one of these snowflakes. I'm hoping the camera will pick up that sparkle. So I have done all 3 of them. And so this one is just die cut in Whisper White, and then I went over with the Wink of Stella. And this one is stamped in Night of Navy, and went over it with Wink of Stella. And this one is Pacific Point that's been stamped off. I will show you guys that tip when we get the decorating part done. So you will need to bring in your dimensionals and your paper piercing tool or your take your pick tool, whatever poker thing you have. Okay, and so we're going to start with the bottom snowflake. So you can either have yours chips straight up and down, one, but I like to, for this project, to the side where I have 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. And then I'm going to take a dimensional and just put right in the center of that snowflake. And I'm going to peel away the backing. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is take the Night of Navy, and I want 1 tip facing up. So basically what you're doing is you're staggering the snowflakes to allow the bottom one to show through, and then also letting this one show through. And then you're going to take another dimensional. Now this one is a lot smaller center. So if you have a mini dimensional, you want to use one of those, or if you don't, you can just cut down a regular dimensional to size. Mini dimensionals are like the perfect size, and I'm going to put it right in the center and bring this up to the camera. So right here in the center is a white dot. I'm going to place the dimensional right over the top of that. See, just like that. And peel that backing away. And then we're going to take our other snowflake. Now I want the beauty of these 2 snowflakes to show through. My camera is a little fuzzy. Okay, so I'm going to take this snowflake and I'm going to also stagger it, but allow these other 2 to show through as well. And so basically you're going to be able to see, let me bring this in. So I now have secured that down. And so I want all 3 snowflakes to show through. And then these look like 3D because they've all been popped, and so they're popped out from one another. And then what we're going to do is take our blue adhesive gem. These are adhesive backed, and so it's just on this tiny little piece of acetate paper that it comes on. And I'm going to take this off with my paper piercer, and I'm going to place it right in the center of the blue snowflake, the top snowflake. These really sparkle. They have so many sparkles on them. They're really pretty. Okay, and so now we have our blue gem secured. And now we're going to turn our snowflakes over because we're going to put a few more dimensionals on the back. And I put 3, so I just try to kind of keep them toward the middle. But you do want them to pop from your box. And so I just did almost like a triangle. I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off. Well, that one went ring. Okay, bring in our box top. And you can have your one white tip, top and bottom, or you can to the side where you have 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, whatever looks good to you. And then we're going to center that. Don't press it down right away in case you want to move it. And then when you have it right where you want it, go ahead and secure that down. Look how pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to throw these away. Okay, so then we have our boxes. Really, really pretty. This one, that's right. I did lift this one up just a little bit. The top blue snowflake. And you could do that with your Night of Navy snowflake too, just to really give more of a 3D effect. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see how it's just sticking up a little bit. Okay. And now I have a couple of tricks I want to share with you. So we're going to set these off to the side. So the top snowflake, this light blue one, is stamped in Pacific Point. And I want to show you full strength stamping. It's still a very much pretty blue, but it is a lot darker and a lot darker than this DSP. And so what I did to get this color was I stamped it full strength and then stamped off, which means it's just a lighter shade of blue. So you guys can see the difference. I didn't want quite this dark. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you can, with this stamp set, different snowflakes. Okay, I want to make sure my screen just kind of went dark, so I'm just checking. So you can line up the center part and rotate to kind of offset your snowflake to make that pretty snowflake. Isn't that pretty? And you can do that with all of the snowflakes in this stamp set. It's really, really pretty. And so now I'm going to bring this closer to the camera so you guys can see. And so this one here on the left is full strength Pacific Point, and then this one on the right is stamped off. Just really, because this really didn't match our DSP very well. So, okay, so there we have our box set with Snowflake Splendor. And I will go ahead and bring in, so for a small box, our note. This is 7 by 7. This is our box base, which is the bottom part, scored at 2 inches on all 4 sides. And then the lid is 5 by 5, scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then for our medium box, our base is 8 by 8, scored at 2 inches on all 4 sides. And our lid is 6 by 6, scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So you guys could do this. You can make multiple sizes. It's just what you have to remember is on your lids, you want to, whatever your box base size is, you want to go 2 inches smaller for your lid. So 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 7 by 7, 5 by 5, so on and so forth. So, okay. Thank you so much for crafting with me. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun with your snowflake boxes. And I would love to hear the ideas you come up with for what you guys put in them. I have a few ideas of my own too, which I shared with you, like cookies. Did I mention I've been craving cookies? Okay, we gotta stop talking cookies. Let's talk crafting. Anyway, so now we are gonna take a break and go with project number 2. I love you. See you soon. Bye-bye.